All right, welcome to a special episode of the Bearcast. I am excited to have a really good person. I know you guys have requested this, so I just wanted to make this clear. This is a special. I'm going to be interviewing people one-on-one, and let's get to it. I'm right now here with um former walk-on at the University of Oregon. Not only has he won a Pac-12 championship, he is also currently your 2024 Fiesta Bowl winner. He is just now signed to the European Football League to the Stuttgart Surges. Please give a warm welcome to Marko Vidackovic.
What's good? What's good? You smooth
How
there?
you
You
been?
smooth?
How you feeling about it?
I'm good. I'm good. Feeling great. Very
Yes.
excited for that opportunity. It's definitely an adjustment now out of the program here at Oregon, getting my life in order and everything, but very excited for the opportunity this summer and can't wait for that to come around.
That's good. Yeah. So you're originally from Croatia. That's correct, right?
Yes. Yes.
So going from Croatia to Oregon is already a big change within itself. And now you're going from Oregon back to Germany, close to your homeland. So, how does it feel going back? Like, just how does it feel? How those raw emotions are going?
Yeah. So I'm my ethnicity, I'm Croatian, but I was born and raised in Germany. And my whole family lives overseas now in Germany still. And so I've been in the state of Oregon now for 7 years, 3 years of high school, 4 years for college. So it's definitely been a long time here. I'm extremely excited to go back home because that's where all my big family is and my close family, all my aunts and uncles and my cousins, as well as my grandparents. And so I'm very excited to see them. I'm also very excited to spend the summer again with my sisters,
Mhm.
my parents, of course. So that's something I'm looking forward to a lot.
That's good. Yeah. Speaking of the transitions, do you think this transition going back home is going to be harder for you? Like, tell me how you feel. Did you feel like that the first transition was harder? Explain.
Yeah, I honestly think this transition now, this 4 months, so I'm going from June to September to play the season there. Basically, big summer vacation for 4 months at home. I'm really excited for it. I don't think it's going to be a hard adjustment for me at all. I haven't been back home in a while. And usually when I go back home, it's only for 2 weeks at a time, at least the last 4 years. That's what it was. And I haven't been back in a year and a half now, but I'm very excited to go home and actually kind of establish a little life again there for a couple of months and kind of get in the routine of things. Because usually when I get there and then I kind of start developing a routine and then I have to go again right away. So it's going to be nice there to kind of experience life overseas in Europe again,
There
the
you
way I.
go. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I am happy for you. So, can you give us a quick primer on the EFL? Like what is your contract status? What's the difference between um that and American football? Are there any rule changes? What are how many teams are there?
Yeah, so basically the European Football League, or I guess the official name is European League of Football, so ELF.
Okay.
There's basically, I believe there's three conferences. I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but I believe there's about 20 some teams now. And they
Okay.
have teams all over Europe. They have teams in Germany, Spain, and Italy, Austria, Switzerland, the Czech Republic, Poland, Turkey,
Okay.
Hungary. So there's teams all over Europe, and basically they all play each other. And I believe it's a 14 game season,
Okay.
and then there's a playoff bracket at the end. So it's just basically a normal setup. You have your divisions. If you win your division, you make the playoffs. There's wild card teams, and then it's just a playoff. You get to the championship game. And my team that I'm going to now, the Stuttgart Surge, they had a big resurgence, kind of.
Okay.
So they struggled the first 2 years in the league, and then last year they completely switched it around. They went 12-2 and made it to the championship game. And so now, yeah, this year we're looking to get back to that championship game and win it this year. So very excited for that, and also very excited to just be able to travel Europe while playing football. And like we have a game in Barcelona, we have a game in Milan. So
Okay.
those are two cities I'm really excited to play because I never thought that I would be playing football in Barcelona. or in Milan. So that's something
That's so
I'm very
cool.
looking forward to. Yeah.
Would those schedules be the same as like a college football schedule where you have to have dinner and there's walkthroughs upon man, or is that completely different?
Yeah. So honestly, I'm not completely sure how the whole routine goes and everything since I haven't been over there yet. But
Okay.
from what I know is there's a bunch of team travel, there's a bunch of team bonding activities too.
Hmm.
Where the difference lies, I guess, a little bit is in college, like all the teammates are always around each other and you can practice 5, 6 times a week. It's a little different over there because a lot of the guys on the team work jobs and everything and don't
Okay.
necessarily live in the city where we play. So a lot of guys have to commute into the city for practice and everything. So I believe we have 3 practices a week at night, and then we have games on Sundays, which is nice. So the weekends are basically reserved for the games and the travel. So it should be cool. Used to playing on Saturdays in college, and now it's Sundays. So excited for that.
Would you get a job during this time, or would you only focus on football?
Yeah. So my primary focus is going to be football.
Mhm.
I do have an internship lined up though.
Okay.
So I have an internship lined up with the franchise that I'm playing for in Stuttgart, and I'm basically going to be able to check everything out, see what basically goes into running a franchise on the daily basis. I'll see how they do their marketing, how they go about ticketing, how they go about sales in general, merchandise and everything, what goes into game day setups, and kind of how they manage a roster and just
Mhm.
everything all in all. And it's going to be nice to hop around and kind of see which areas of that I like. Social media is a big thing too. They're pushing that league. And I know
Mhm.
the Surge are one of the leading, if not the best franchise in Europe when it comes to promoting social media and everything. So it's going to be nice to get a
Mhm.
insight into all of that.
Yep. And so with this new change in your life, what are some expectations that you want to see coming out of this?
Yeah, honestly, for me, it was just I wanted to do something that excited me again.
Mhm.
I wanted to do something where I knew I would not necessarily be comfortable right away
Okay.
and push myself to be uncomfortable a little bit. But I know that it's a great opportunity, and I really, I'm really looking forward to it because of all the experiences I'll be able to kind of experience because of it. I mean, traveling to all these different countries with a team and bonding with that team and my teammates is going to be a lot of fun. And then also just getting back to playing ball, having a whole season there and playing a lot again is it's going to be fun. And yeah, I just think it's also nice just to kind of get out of there again. I've been here in the States now for 4 years. I've really gotten used to life here. And it's going to be nice just to see how life in Europe is again. So yeah.
Mhm. Do you miss the life in Europe or not really?
Yeah, I miss certain aspects of it for sure. Obviously, the biggest part I miss is my
Mhm.
family and friends. A lot of friends still I grew up with over there, and not seeing them a lot, always not as fun. But it's always a great time when I go back, seeing everyone again. So that's what I'm most excited about. And then just also like life's very different in Europe. I would say in the U.S. there's a lot of life involves a lot of stress. Um, in Europe, it's a little different. You get to living more, and there's a lot of opportunities there too with traveling. And you don't have to spend as much time traveling because everything's kind of closer. It's not as separated and far away as the United States is, just because it's not as big of a. I guess yeah, the land's not as big. So yeah, I'm very excited to see that again, and the food. That's something I'm
Mhm.
really excited about. The food's always amazing. So yeah.
Yeah. With the EFL, has the European Football League, has that been like a stepping stone for players that have been really good to get promoted into other levels like an XFL or an AFL or a CFL by any chance?
Yeah, so the European Football League, they utilize it. A lot of players that don't necessarily sometimes get the chances to go into the XFL or NFL, they utilize that overseas league now in Europe to gather film and to keep playing for the love of the game. The
Mhm.
competition's getting really good there too. There's a lot of really good players over there. There's a lot of players from the US that have played at big colleges here that have
Mhm.
experience in the NFL as well as the XFL or even the CFL. And they go over there to play and to kind of experience the culture in Europe and just to see what life over there is about. So it's
Mhm.
definitely growing, and the competitive nature there is very, very good. So
Mhm. I know with Europe as like I know soccer is like probably the popular sport, but is the EFL also popular in Europe, like compared to like the NFL? It's really popular in America.
yeah, so it's really growing actually. When I first moved to the States 7 years ago, the
Mhm.
sport was very underdeveloped, I would say, in Germany and Europe in all in whole. But
Mhm.
now it's really changed. The NFL coming to Europe, like London, or even the Germany games now, or even the expansion to Spain next year, all that's contributing to the growth of football in Europe. And there's a lot of diehard and passionate football fans over there. I know a lot of people in Germany that are very passionate about football, and the
Really?
sport's really growing. It's really growing, and in terms of the league, I know there's a lot of games that are going to be played this year in bigger stadiums, in the soccer stadiums in Germany that hold a lot more people.
Mhm.
And last year, for example, the championship game for the ELF final was, I believe, 45,000 fans or 35,000 fans, and it was sold out. And they're planning on getting a bigger venue this year. So it's definitely, there's some good crowds. There's a lot of
Mhm.
fans, and they're very passionate about it. So they love seeing it in person and everything. So, and it also just comes from, you can see like when they had the game in Munich or Frankfurt the last couple of seasons, those stadiums have been packed out when the NFL's come over there. And those same fans that are fans of the NFL, they really appreciate the LF and they support those franchises and come watch those
Nah, that
games.
that's amazing. I did not know that. And that getting into those bigger soccer stadiums, that's something to be said there because soccer there is it's top tier. I mean, you got Neymar, or like you got the big names there. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
just coming from there to that area, I think that shows signs. And I mean, yeah, again, especially with the NFL going in for sure, it's helping it. But speaking of the states, let's talk about Oregon. Um, how was your experience there? Just kind of wrap it up for our audience. Just say like how you feel about it and just what's your time there.
Oregon, the last 4 years, time of my life. It
Mhm,
really was the best decision I could have made.
mhm.
I was at first, obviously, my recruitment kind of, it was the COVID year when I came here.
Yeah.
So everything in the beginning was a little iffy, and I didn't really get the true experience my first year because everything was
Mhm,
still kind of shut down and restricted.
mhm,
But the last 3 years of like the last three seasons have been truly amazing. Gotten to
mhm,
play in some amazing crowds. Otson's always rocking and jumping.
mhm.
The fans are crazy. That atmosphere is really not comparable to anything. And then just
I
other great
agree.
memories like beating Ohio State in the shoe. I'll never forget that. Or yeah, so the Pac-12 championship. There's a bunch of games that have really stuck out. Or even now the Fiesta Bowl, even though the crowd wasn't as big, us winning and kind of capping our season the right way and going out the right way, that was truly amazing. And just all the teammates I got to meet over my time. I've become really close friends with a lot of the guys on the team over the years. And it's just nice to see how a sport can bring us together like that. And
Yeah.
so I really wouldn't trade it for the world, and got my
Mhm,
education here too in 4 years. So I'm grateful for that. And yeah,
mhm.
the experience just all in all has been truly amazing.
That's good. Yeah, explain a little more to me about the Fiesta Bowl, how that all went down. And I mean, again, congratulations. That's an amazing accomplishment that you and Oregon has done.
Yeah. So like, my first year, your second year, we were in the
Yes.
Fiesta Bowl during COVID, and we played Brock
Wow.
Purdy and Brees Hall in Iowa State. Um,
Yes.
I thought we could have came back at the end of that game, but unfortunately we didn't. Things didn't go our way, and we lost to Iowa State. But now, come back from my first season, now to my last, my fourth, we came back and we played Liberty, and we beat them pretty convincingly. And that experience just as a whole was amazing. We stayed in the
Mhm.
same resort we stayed in back in COVID, but
Yeah.
this time we actually had like 8 days there. So we actually got to experience everything. We got to experience the area and the city of Phoenix and Scottsdale and everything around, which was nice because last time
Yeah.
we were kind of trapped and bound to our rooms and
I
had
will
to
say
walk
though, those resorts were beautiful.
Yeah, they were. And now we actually got to enjoy the pool, the weather. Even though it was December, it was still the weather was good.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice. And just to see everything in the
Mm-hmm.
area and just kind of experience Scottsdale and Phoenix like that for the first time was nice.
Mm-hmm. What was your favorite memory from the Fiesta Bowl?
Man, it must be the celebration after.
Okay.
It was
Mm-hmm.
kind of just the perfect way to go out. We had such a connected and special group last year,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just the right way for us to go out, do it one more time together. And the last time suiting up was definitely a little emotional, but it was definitely super happy. And what was also very exciting was after the game when we all went out together. That was one of the best nights. So it was a great experience all in all. And honestly, also just to being around the team, being around the guys that whole week. We had a lot of downtime that week to just hang out and kind of
Mm-hmm.
go explore Phoenix, and it was nice doing that with all the friends. So it
That's
was great. Yeah.
when you talk about a little bit with being a bittersweet moment, winning the Fiesta Bowl and having that, did you felt like when you won, it felt like it was a sense of closure where you felt happy with what you had?
Yeah, certainly. I was very glad. So my first 2 years we lost both bowl games, and now
Mm-hmm.
my last years we won them. And just in general, like it was nice going out on a victory, and it was nice going out on those feelings, and just everybody being happy after the game, everybody being glad we did it the right way, and just being proud of the team I was on, being proud to be the teammate of all the guys in the locker room, and
Mm-hmm.
being proud to be coached by the coaches we had, everything. Just proud to represent Oregon, the university, and everything. The last 4 years, it was really the perfect way to go out, and couldn't ask for a better way. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
something. Yeah, honestly, yeah. I guess I could say I wish the stadium was more packed, but I
Yeah.
felt like that just has something to do with the opponent. But it was, I mean, just a celebration after seeing how happy everyone was, and just spending that moment in time with the guys was perfect.
Yeah, no, I remember too, just watching the game on New Year's. I was back home with my family, and I always keep rooting for my team. I mean, even though I'm at Campbell, I mean, Campbell will always be the team that I'll root, but also I also got stuff done at Oregon. So
So
just
Camels,
seeing, but when I saw that game, and we're playing Liberty, ironically, next year, that's our first game. It was good
mhm.
scout film, and also y'all were stuffing the bag. So it was a kind of a good feeling for me too, just seeing y'all win. So that was really happy. And so last question, and this I feel like this one's my favorite question, but what was your favorite memory out of your 4 years in Oregon all in general?
Ooh, my favorite memory. That's a tough one, you know. There's a few moments for me. Um,
You can say them.
One
It's
of
all
them
good.
is after we beat Ohio State, that celebration in the locker room.
Mhm.
And then I don't know if you remember, but I kind of went viral on ESPN and
Yes.
SportsCenter after that game. And I had no idea until I got back on the bus because I hadn't been on my phone. There was
Mhm.
the reception in the locker room was terrible. And then I got on the bus and everyone was going crazy. And the flight back was amazing. I would also say the Fiesta Bowl,
Mhm.
the San Diego Bowl last year.
Mhm.
That game was the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. That was a lot of fun as well.
Yes.
And I was just honestly, it's like those little moments in the locker room where you're just having fun with the team, with your teammates, and just kind of enjoying the presence of each other. That was a lot of fun. I had a
Mhm.
moment this year too when we did the Duck Olympics. I think you remember from last year when
Yeah.
we did that fall camp. I had a
Mhm.
little moment this year where I had I did the Eminem 8 Mile final rap battle in front of the team,
Uh-huh.
and it was, yeah, that was an experience in itself. That was a
I
lot of
could
fun.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
so that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one too. And honestly, yeah,
mhm.
just everything. The spring games were always fun.
Mhm. I agree with that.
Like the atmosphere, especially since Lanning came, the last 2 years of spring games were electric. Um, the Colorado game this year was electric.
Mhm.
So there's so many moments, man, and I'm very grateful and very appreciative of the time I've gotten to spend here at Oregon, and
Mhm.
everybody I got to meet and everything I got to experience along my journey here. So yeah.
Yes. Yes. No, I'm with you on that. Oregon. It's special. It's special when you go to that alma mater. I mean, we've had our good times. You've had good times with other people. I've had great times there, and I feel like we can both reflect in the sense whether it's brothers, roommates, teammates. Fun fact: we were actually former roommates for a little
Well,
bit.
that's the other thing I was about to bring up is I got to shout out the house. Uh,
Yes.
I wish I lived in the house for longer, but I got to shout out the house. Everybody in the house,
Yeah.
Dylan, Pat, Rye, Max, Jay for a little time, Evan, Bennett. That was and Snoopy, of
Yeah.
course. Can't
Oh
forget Snoopy.
yes, Snoopy.
Um,
Yes, we're not
and
forgetting that mofo.
so it was definitely that was also that house was special. I'm never
Yes.
gonna forget all the times we had in that house.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's so much, man. There's so much that has brought me joy and happiness and everything, and all that's kind of made me who I am today, and just all the friendships I've gotten to build over the years. Like everybody in that house, that was really we had the time of our lives there every day. So yeah,
Yes. No, I'm with you. I mean, people don't know I was living with seven other guys. Marco was one of my roommates. It was Pat, Jay. It was a lot of fun. Max was
good
there. I
time.
mean, it was a very fun
And I
time.
will
And
say, Bear, your cleats are still hanging on that thing out back. I see them every
oh,
time I drive by the house. So your cleats are still hanging up there. I don't know
oh
if
my.
Max is still up there. I haven't seen his, but yours are definitely still there, right above the basketball hoop.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is actually I didn't know that. I thought someone was gonna take them down, but that's
Yeah,
actually good to know.
still hanging. So
Oh my gosh, yes.
the
Well,
bear,
Marco.
the bear, the bear's ghost lives on in that house.
Yes, yes, and that's how it should be. Yes. All right, Marco. Marco, you are a great person, whether you're in Germany or Spain, wherever, as a roommate, as someone who always is going to be rooting for you. I just want to thank you again for being on the Bearcast. We will be rooting for you. Me and my audience will be rooting for you here at the United States. And who knows? Maybe I might pull up to Germany and maybe go
You
to a
should one
game.
day. I'll show you around. I'll show you a good
Oh my
time. It should
gosh,
be.
I would love
You
to go to
gotta
Germany. I
experience it
mean,
one day.
yeah,
Yeah,
that would be something for me. I would definitely do for sure.
you should. You definitely
Yes.
should.
Yes. All right. Well, if you liked what you saw today, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification button so you can make sure that this is the content you want to see. Stay smooth, everyone, and have yourself a
Stay
blessed day.
smooth. Always
Yes.
stay
Yes.
smooth.